Good day. This is Global Watch on your digital first Pan-African News Network TOS Television. I am Abigail Okwade. The Prosecutor General in Jordan's capital, Amman, in a statement has banned all news outlets and social media users on Tuesday from publishing any information about an alleged plot said to involve the King Abdullah's half-brother, Prince Hamza, state television said. Tuesday's order came after Prince Hamza, who has been highly critical of the government, pledged loyalty to King Abdullah II late on Monday, 2 days after he said he had been placed under house arrest. Earlier on Monday, Prince Hamza had struck a defiant tone, insisting he would not obey orders restricting his movement. The government has accused Hamza, an ex-crown prince, of a malicious plot and involvement in a seditious conspiracy to destabilize the kingdom's security. Iran and the United States are to begin indirect talks in Vienna, Austria's capital, on Tuesday, aimed at bringing both countries back into full compliance with the 2015 deal abandoned by Washington 3 years ago. Officials from Britain, France, and Germany are expected to act as intermediaries. Russia and China, the other parties to the 2015 pact, will also attend. France will be the main interlocutor for both sides. Washington on Monday said it expected the talks to be difficult. On the other hand, Iranian government spokesman Ali Rabai told reporters that they are not optimistic nor pessimistic about the outcome of the meeting, but they are confident that they are on the right track. And if America's will, seriousness, and honesty is proven, it could be a good sign for a better future for the agreement and ultimately its full implementation. The Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, has been nominated by the president to try to form a government following the latest inconclusive election, but voiced doubts that any candidate can forge a majority coalition. I have come to a decision based on the numbers of recommendations from lawmakers, which indicates that Benjamin Netanyahu has a slightly higher chance of forming a government, President Reuven said. President Rivlin's announcement came 2 weeks after Israel's fourth election in 2 years. Prime Minister Netanyahu has the highest support in Israel's 52 seats, but that is still 61 seats majority short. The new nomination gives Netanyahu a new opportunity to amend his career. He is the country's longest-serving prime minister, with a record 12 consecutive years in office. He will have at least 28 days to negotiate a coalition agreement, a daunting task in Israel's deeply divided legislature. Myanmar's authorities arrested Zangana, the country's most famous comedian, on Tuesday as they continue to oppress people accused of helping to encourage nationwide protests against military coup that took place in February. It was not immediately clear what Zangana had been charged with. A comedian announced on his Facebook page that the comedian was taken from his home in Yangon by police and military men who arrived in 2 army vehicles. The comedian is a sharp-tongued satirist who had been in and out of prison since he was active in a failed uprising against a previous military dictatorship in 1988. In Mandalay, the country's second biggest city, security forces used stun grenades and fired guns on Tuesday to break up a march by medical doctors who had defiantly continued to protest almost every day against the February 1 coup that ousted the elected government of Aung San Suu Kyi. The army's takeover set back Myanmar's gradual return to democracy after 5 decades of military rule. On Tuesday, the Prime Minister of New Zealand announced that quarantine-free travels with Australia will commence from April 19. Prime Minister Ardern said the risk of COVID-19 transmission from Australia to New Zealand is low and that quarantine-free travel is safe to start. Our team's success in managing COVID-19 and keeping it out over the past 12 months have now opened up the opportunity to reconnect with loved ones and resume trans-Tasman travel, Prime Minister Ardern said in her statement. One sacrifice that has been particularly hard for many to bear over the past year has been the separation from friends and family who live in Australia. So today's announcement will be a great relief for many, she said. However, Chris Hipkins, the COVID-19 response minister, said those traveling must not have had a positive COVID-19 test result in the previous 14-day period and must not be awaiting the results of a COVID-19 test taken during that period. Australia's Prime Minister Scott Morrison supported the decision and termed it another big step. I'm very pleased that the New Zealand government has decided that two-way travel will commence Monday fortnight. Prime Minister Ardern called me last night and we had a very positive discussion about this. It's something we've been talking about for some time, Prime Minister Morrison told reporters. Last year, October, Australia opened its borders and allowed quarantine-free travel from New Zealand following its restrictions against coronavirus. You are watching Global Watch. Coming up next is stories on business, entertainment, and sports. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. You are watching Global Watch on your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. Officials said floods and landslides caused by tropical cyclone Seroja on islands in Indonesia's southeast and East Timor have killed people and made thousands homeless. Rescuers are still in search for dozens of people who are still missing. The Disaster Management Agency in Indonesia said it had recorded 130 deaths in a cluster of remote islands near East Timor, where another 27 have been listed dead. Search and rescue teams in Indonesia were racing to find more than 70 people still missing and using diggers to clear mountains of debris. Police, soldiers, and residents dug through the debris with their bare hands, shovels, and hoes, searching for those buried, as efforts that were being hindered by heavy rain. Relatives wailed as they watched rescuers pulled out a body covered in mud, placed it on a bamboo stretcher, and take it away. The disaster agency had estimated that 125 million Indonesians, which is nearly half of the country's population, live in the areas at risk of landslides. According to environmentalists, the disasters are caused by deforestation most of the time. The National Disaster Agency representative said authorities were still working to evacuate remote communities and provide shelter to those affected by the storm. Now in business, the value of the cryptocurrency market topped $2 trillion for the first time on Monday, driven by a rally in Ether, the second largest digital coin. Ether hit an all-time high of $2,151.25 million on Tuesday morning, Singapore time, according to CoinDesk. It is up over 180 year-to-date Ethereum. The blockchain behind Ether is seen as a key platform for so-called decentralized finance applications and non-fungible tokens. Bitcoin is the biggest digital currency account for over 50% of the entire cryptocurrency market capitalization and has been a big driver behind the move towards $2 trillion. But the latest boost in the cryptocurrency market appears to have been driven by Ether, the digital coin that powers the Ethereum blockchain. In just over 2 months, the market capitalization of the cryptocurrency market has doubled as retail and institutional investors pile into the space. Now on the entertainment scene, beauty queen Popshika De Silva won the Miss Sri Lanka title at a ceremony on national TV in a theater in Colombo on Sunday night. Moments later, 2019 winner Caroline Jury seized De Silva's crown, crowning the runner-up, prompting a tearful Miss De Silva to walk off stage. A video of the incident showed. She claimed she could not be awarded the title, citing a pageant rule that competitors must be married and not divorced. In a Facebook post, Ms. De Silva said she went to hospital to be treated for head injuries suffered after the brawl that broke out on stage. She added that she would take legal actions for the unreasonable and insulting way she was treated. The organizers have apologized to Ms. De Silva, and the prize has now been returned to her after pageant organizers confirmed she is not a divorcee. Police have questioned Ms. Jury, who is the current holder of the Miss World title, as well as the national director of Miss Sri Lanka World, about the incident. And in sport, North Korea has decided not to participate in the Tokyo Olympics due to the coronavirus. This decision would take North Korea the first country to skip the games because of the pandemic. A state website handled by North Korea's sports ministry said the decision was made during a National Olympic Committee meeting on March 25th, where members cited the need to protect the athletes amid the global pandemic. The Ministry of Unification in South Korea expressed its regret over over North Korea's decision, it had hoped that the Olympics would give them the opportunity to improve inter-Korean relations, which have declined over time. North Korea says it has no coronavirus cases, but the United States and Japanese officials do not believe this claim. It has still taken drastic quarantine steps that have made the regime's economic woes worse. The organizers of Tokyo's Olympics have not received a notice from North Korea and said there have been no notifications from any national committee over the non-participation in the games due to the coronavirus. Tamayo, the minister of Japanese Olympic, told reporters she was still confirming the information and could not immediately make any comments on the decision. And that is it on Global Watch for today. For more updates, do visit our website at www.tostvnetwork.com to follow and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. I am Abigail Okwade. Remain safe.